That'll do it from the G1C Kings fans. You have your signature win of the season. Let's talk about it on the other side. Welcome in to the postgame show here on If You Don't Like That.
Late nights on the screen, hey, it's Grant and Ryan. We bleed purple, talking hoops, never lying. Sacramento Kings, we rise and we fall. If you don't like that, then you don't know ball. Jerry sitting with the stories of the game, spilling all the truth, driving legends insane. From the Cow Palace days to Arco's roar, this town's heart beats on the hardwood floor. If you don't like that, turn away now. Kings in our blood, we ride strong and proud. Running up to score, Kings never back down. If you don't like that, this ain't your town.
And welcome back in. Ryan in Sacktown with you, taking you home tonight. Napes is off for the post game, which means I need all of you to pick me up. Get up in here. We would love to hear from you on the phone lines, in the chat. We'll get to as many as we can. A lot to talk about in this one. The Kings win 120 to 111. Many games we've seen this Kings team not just turn the ball over, we've seen them give the ball over to their opponents tonight. The Kings with only 10 turnovers. Not only that, they kept their heads. They kept their heads in what was a physical game, a game where emotions got high, a game where, they took advantage. You want to look at how they came out in the third quarter? They absolutely took advantage of Dylan Brooks and what happened there in the first half. And you can't blame them. It was a brilliant game all around. 10 turnovers for the game. Still going back to that, it felt at times there in the fourth quarter, here comes the run. Here comes the run from Houston. Domas making some big plays, getting some and ones, missing 3 free throws in the fourth quarter, and you felt it coming. You felt it coming, and it didn't. The Kings found a way to bounce back. They played scrappy. They put it together for what I would say 48 minutes in their most complete win of the season. So give me your thoughts on it. We've got a lot to break down. You've got a big game coming up after this in Memphis that we'll get to, but I cannot underestimate, I cannot tell you how good this Rockets team is. This Rockets team came in winners of 8-2 or 8-2 in their last 10. So the fact that the Kings responded off of a bad stretch of basketball and for one night showed you what they can be. And something that we've talked about a ton here on the channel is the change with Malik Monk in the starting lineup. Does it mean there's going to be adjustments to the Kings in their game plans? This is now the second night in a row where we have seen the Kings go away from the DHO and go to the pick and roll. And we are seeing success. It is looking pretty damn good. If we look at the good and the bad over the last 8 quarters, I think the good outweighs the bad, especially with a complete win in this one. Really a wire-to-wire win. You could say the first quarter was a little bit difficult, but even at the end of the first quarter, end of the second quarter, going into halftime, the way the Kings responded, third quarter, really good stuff from them. So get up in here. Want to hear from all of you. Roger, I'm not taking your call, dude. I already know who you are. Roger, if you would like to talk, you can put your face on camera. Not doing it again, Roger, a.k.a. Neil. Get the hell out of here, troll. Want to get to as many chats as we can. So super chats do get the priority just because they pop up on our screen. But give me your thoughts on this one. A big night. You see Keegan Murray get going in this one. How about Keegan Murray showing some signs of life, hitting some open threes? That was big. All of your starters in double digits tonight. That's a big plus. And Kevin Huerter gave you some big minutes off of the bench, not only offensively, but defensively. Kevin Huerter was getting to the corners, something that Mike Brown has preached over and over since training camp. So let's see. DSC hopping in. Now let's see if they can keep pace and play this way more than just one game. Yeah, they've got to put it together. You are still under 500. Another positive, though, tonight, you get one on your home court, a significant one on your home court. And also, Domantas Sabonis, we've been critical of his turnovers, but he played really well with 4 fouls down the stretch. And he did not have a hard or a very easy guard in Şengün. So get up in here. Want to hear from you. I know you don't want to just hear me talk about this one. We'll get as many chats as we can. Well, but again, the Kings win tonight. Huge win for them. 120 to 111. Dan, if you would like to come on, I need to see your face. Not trusting either of these. Yeah, see, falling off. So not gonna happen. All right. So back to the chat, Alex. You guys are talking. Who you don't need to worry about who he is. So who was your player of the game tonight? What are you looking at? The Kings, by the way, limited the three ball, relatively speaking, only 35.9% for the Rockets. The Rockets shoot 39 of them. That's right around what the Rockets shoot on the season. So, a very bright spot that the Kings did not come out and allow a team to take advantage of them from deep. And how about the Kings 3-point shooting? 46.7 tonight. Thank you. Appreciate it, Mark. Really, really appreciate it. Now, Jake, that's not going to fly. It ain't flying here. Not happening. PK, Grant can only be negative, doesn't like talking after a good win. No, look, we've got to put it in perspective. The beam's lit, which good thing the beam still works, right? Good thing there. But in perspective, the Kings needed a win like this. The fan base needed a win like this, where you see him put it together. Coach Brown, I think, coached a very good game. Solid challenge, right? On the Kevin Huerter foul from beyond the arc. Was not good. DeMar DeRozan, many people saying, is DeMar going to fit in with the style that the Kings want to play? DeMar did wonders for the Kings in the third quarter, slowing things down. And again, ultimately, what do you call this? A great team win? Very good team win. Donald hopping in. Sabonis made a statement. I think he's a player of the year with his game tonight. I think he's player of the game with his game tonight. Possibly. He played a damn good game. Now, he had 3 turnovers in the first half, but the Kings put him back in this positions that he needs to be in to have his best success. That's what I was most excited about with Domas, the physicality under the hoop. That is where Domas belongs. You could go player of the game for many guys here. Now, here's a name that we did not mention because he did not play. Keon Ellis did not get any minutes tonight. Remember, Mike Brown, indirectly very critical of Keon in the media about the 3 turnovers last game, or 2 turnovers and a foul that ended the third quarter. So Mike Brown puts a little bit of bite behind his bark. You got to respect that. Tighter rotation, pulls the starters. Imo Udoka gets ejected. Şengün gets ejected. Brooks fouls out. Everything breaks the Kings' way, ultimately resulting in a 120 to 111 win. Let's go to the phones. Want to hear from you. Get up in here. Take this show over. Dirk, what's up?
What's up, Ryan? So, man, I can't say enough about Isaac Jones. How impressive are you finding him? You seemed a little low on him early on in this season, but how impressed are you with him?
I'm impressed with his athleticism and how Mike Brown is putting him in the spots to be kind of successful. He's not putting him out top too much. He's leaving him down in the key. But the thing that's blown me away, Dirk, is him running the floor. That has been pretty damn important to me and to this team. How about yourself?
Yeah, that pretty much. I mean, he's what you needed, a role player, a guy that's playing his role, getting those fast break buckets, his presence on defense. I was impressed that he didn't have some of the same fouls he had in the San Antonio game. Like, he felt like he was playing some hard-nosed defense on a guy in Şengün who was a bit larger than him. So I missed the first quarter, unfortunately. I couldn't figure out where to watch the damn game tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm on the Fubo thing, but for whatever reason, I'm bouncing around trying to locate the game, TNT, wherever it is. But man, I agree 100% all around. Good game, best game of the year for the guys. I got a bit concerned at the end of the second quarter with Sabonis. Seemed to get a little bit
Right.
frazzled when things got physical.
He
He had
did.
some silly fouls, some errant turnovers. It was interesting to see him get pulled. I mean, he got pulled because of fouls. But my concern, I'll be honest, I thought he was going to blow it in the fourth, but he didn't. Despite his best attempt at the free throw line to miss all his free throws, he still came through at some big plays. So shout out to him this game. Last thought would be: is there more to this Keon Ellis thing than just those examples of turnovers? It makes me wonder when we're playing defense. Are we running the system, or is Keon maybe going rogue or not knowing what he's supposed to be doing? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think Keon just had a little bit of a bad stretch there at the end of the third quarter. It was something that Mike Brown talked about in training camp. In fact, we were there at training camp, and Mason Jones had 3 bad plays in a row. And in front of the media, Mike just lit in to Mason, lit into the starters, the veterans, saying, you need to police that. And then he talked to the media about it for about a minute 30. But Mike hasn't had the depth on the bench to enforce those things throughout the season. His hands have been kind of tied. So I think part of it too was the matchup as well tonight. So I think Keon will get his minutes. Kevin's not going to play like this every night, although you hope he does. But Keon's still going to have his spot on the team. It was a tight rotation tonight until the last minute 20 when Mike pulled the starters.
It's such a good physical performance. Like when it wasn't intentional, but with just how they were setting screens, like a lot of the Houston players going down. Sengun's getting on my nerves with every time calling for fouls. He's like, yeah, it's getting ridiculous. I think he's just as responsible for getting his ejection. Probably annoyed the ref more so than anything, which is why he wasn't getting the calls. But man, great game.
Great game. Yep, it's what they needed. The good, definitely. This one, all I could think about, Dirk, like with 6-7 minutes left before the ejections, Houston was getting offensive rebounds. Luckily, they weren't able to convert. Van Vliet he shot a logo 3, and I'm like, if this goes in, here we go. Because Sabonis had missed a couple free throws. I think the Houston was only down. It was either 6 or 8 points, but the Kings found a way. Team basketball. They got out and they got on the break when really it was a game that was kind of patchy here and there. The refs were calling it pretty tight, regardless of the physicality. Hey, Dirk, thanks for the call tonight,
real quick,
one
quick last shout out. Malik Monk has been playing crazy good. And let's not forget the end of that third when De'Aaron had that errant turnover. But just Malik to hit that 3, he's just back to that guy, that 6th man of the year candidate now in the starting lineup. I'm just so impressed with him. But
huge.
Have a good night.
All right, thanks, Dirk. Way to kick us off tonight on If You Don't Like That. Appreciate that. Thank you to everybody calling in. We'll get to you in a second. Hunter, where you're coming up next. Want to tell you really quick and send them a huge thanks to New Works Plumbing. Yes, for all of your plumbing needs, give New Works a call. They are open 24/7. No problem. Too big or too small for New Works. In fact, I had them out at my house not too long ago. They were awesome. Incredible service, very personable, and they will be there for you. They have a fix for you. That's right. SACServicePlumbing.com. That's New Works Plumbing, 916-713-1010. Shout out to them for sponsoring tonight's post-game show in part. Let's kick it back to the phones. Hunter, welcome in tonight.
Hey, how's it going, Ryan?
Good. Happy to hear from you, Hunter.
Kings had a great game tonight. I was happy to see how well they pulled out in the end. Is it true that you're a faggot?
Thanks, Hunter. Peace. Nice try. Idiot. Like, Hunter, like, really, you live to do shit like that, Hunter? Just makes you look bad, dude. Peace out, dude. Later, Hunter. We don't need clowns like you around on this channel. If I could block you, you would be blocked. Get out of here. Don't bring our show down. Anyways, getting back into it. Let's go back to the phones. Za, what's going on, Za? All right, that's going to be a troll too. All right. So there is a little bit of crossover sometimes with this show and the clones. Clones, for the most part, are good. There are very good clones out there. And then there's idiots like that. Idiots. So, yeah, exactly right. No answer. I don't need to answer that. Yours. Get out of here. Let's go. So let's talk about this one again. Pretty much a wire to wire domination for the Kings. A little bit of a slow start. If you look at the points, 21 in the first quarter for the Kings, 28 for the Rockets, but they hung in there. I think what was impressive to me and the thing that I was looking for was the Mike Brown rotations. What was that going to look like? How was he going to try to team people up? And obviously, Monk and Sabonis, those two bring so much to what this team does in terms of the pick and roll and lights up other players, gets other players open, and gets other teams into foul trouble. Look at Houston in that third quarter. They got into foul trouble very early. The Kings start off on a 14-3 run in the third, and before you know it, the Kings have control of that quarter. And it led in, and Dirk brought up a good point. Malik Monk, the spark that he's brought, that energy that he's brought to the starting lineup, it's a different look. It's a more athletic look for this Kings team. Something that I think takes a little bit of pressure off of Kevin Herter. And again, the sample size needs to be a little bit bigger. We'll see. I think you'll have Kevin still coming off the bench nonetheless, but I think it frees Kevin up to get more looks that are a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more in his wheelhouse. And if you notice, Kevin was able to get out and run tonight. He was running, and that is good for his game. The refs did not show love tonight, or they showed love. Yeah, the refs were on it. I thought Dylan Brooks should have got ejected earlier in the game. Halfway through the fourth quarter, I thought that probably should have been an ejection when he jumped up and down. But again, want to hear from you. And you know what? If you're a troll, eat it. Bring it. I don't care. You're an idiot. I can sniff you guys out. I already sniffed out 3 of you. So get the hell out of here. Back to the game. Let's get you caught up on the NBA scoreboard tonight. The Bucks, 128-107 winners over the Pistons. Remember, NBA Cup action tonight. This was the last of the group phase. The Cavaliers 118-87 winners over the Wizards. The 76ers get another win, 110-104 over the Hornets. The Raptors, they're on a little bit of a roll, 122-111 over the Pacers. The Knicks on national TV beat the Magic 121-106. Oklahoma City blows out the Jazz 133-106. And Memphis, who the Kings see next, losers to Dallas tonight, 121-116. Ongoing right now, you've got Golden State right now still going. Actually, no, just went final. They lost. The Nuggets pulled that out 119-115. And of course, your Kings pull off the victory. How about this low scoring game? Phoenix 104-93. 104-93 tonight over the San Antonio Spurs. Lau, Herter is anything but solid. I think it was his first good game of the year. Disagree. Completely disagree. Now, his shooting percentage has been poor over the last 10 games coming into tonight, but early in the season, he was playing well, and he was playing really good defense. He was leading the team in deflections defensively, and then it got away from him just a little bit. So, I mean, if I had to give Herter a grade for the season compared to where he was last season, probably a B- for Kevin Herter, maybe a C+. Flores hopping in. How you doing? Light the beam. Jay played 11 points in 0 minutes, but doing dirty work. Yeah, did you see him waving? That was great stuff. Waving to Dylan Brooks as he got ejected. And Crowder, as he gets himself more into shape, Mike Brown's going to lean on him, in my opinion, a little bit more. Probably not as many minutes, but you'll see him in there in different high-stakes spots, especially if you see a game getting a little bit away from you in the physicality phase. Speaking of that, let's look at the game tonight. Let's take a look at what the Kings did as a team. Pull up the box score. I know many of you are probably looking at that already. Might as well throw it on the screen. Here's your box for tonight's game. The Kings, really, again, a wire-to-wire win in this one. Want to hear again from all of you. Get up in here. We will talk about what we saw. But that's what you're looking for. If you're Mike Brown, way to respond. Crowder's the GOAT. I doubt he's the GOAT quite yet. Donald hopping back in. If we can get 13 off the bench from Herder, that's what the bench needs. Speaking of the bench, not too bad tonight. I look at the overall stats. The Kings killed, absolutely killed the Rockets in the paint tonight, 56-36, which is part of the Kings formula going forward. That's what was frustrating about last game because the Kings killed the Spurs in the paint. You also look at fast break points. The Kings lost that category by 1, but this wasn't a game with a lot of running. When the Kings ran, it was effective. Bench points, though, what we were talking about, the Kings were only outscored by 7 on the bench, 32-25. Last game, it was over a 20-point deficit there. So definitely closer to what you want to see if you are a Kings fan tonight. Domantas Sabonis, second half, can't complain about what he was able to do, especially with the foul situation. You get 27 from Domas. Keegan Murray coming alive a little bit, 13 big ones. I know it wasn't a ton of points, but they came at big times. And Isaac Jones continues to be a big talk of this team. And another guy, check this out, another guy that is undrafted that this Kings organization has identified and developed and is going to continue developing. I think that's the exciting thing about a guy like Isaac Jones. The same excitement that we had with a guy like Keon Murray or Keon Ellis when he came in last year. Keon is going to be Keon. There's still a lot of ways to go. Still a lot of ways to go with Isaac Jones. But the fact that you're seeing the raw talent, the athleticism, and the athleticism is really where this team was lacking. Isn't that one of the big knocks that we hear more times than not? This team is not athletic enough, not long enough. Well, Isaac Jones, as he gets more and more comfortable with these starters, and you know what's more important than Isaac getting comfortable with the starters? How about we talk about the starters getting comfortable with Isaac? Sabonis, Fox, DeRozan, all of them were confident in giving this guy the ball in the post, also giving him the ball in motion, understanding where each other were going to be. That will continue to improve as time goes along. It's funny watching Isaac Jones because, and I'll put the link in here again, would love to hear from all of you tonight. But it's funny watching Isaac Jones because he is so explosive and you wouldn't necessarily expect it. And he's kind of got a tinge, and I mean just a little tinge of Sean Marion's explosiveness. Just a little bit, not the same player, but that explosiveness come out of nowhere. Steven Adams had his shot blocked by him tonight, and he's like, what? He's like, good shot. Good job, Rook. Good job, dude. So very good stuff from him as well. So the Kings win this one 120-111, which is a huge signature win for this team so far in this season. The Kings look to put it together, hopefully continue the winning ways, and move on to a two-game stretch in Memphis and then San Antonio. You got San Antonio the second night. So the Kings have a 2-game road trip, and then it's back to the Golden One Center where the Kings got the win tonight, and the crowd brought it. Loved hearing some of those cowbells out there. That was something I had not heard too much of this season. A lot of love for Isaac in the chat. The Matrix, yeah, he's got a little bit of the athleticism, just a little bit. Go back and watch how Isaac Jones elevates really quickly, and go back and watch a highlight clip of Sean Marion and look at the way that he would be able to get off the floor really quick. That's something that you can't teach. You can polish the rest. Who told you the Kings should go with Sabonis Monk chemistry? Plays plus 3-point shots and score 22 plus in the fourth quarter. Dude, I've been screaming that from the rooftops that the pick and roll needed to be the center of the offense. So if you did it too, good job. Good job by you. Again, the fourth quarter, something of beauty for the Kings. They outscore the Houston Rockets, or actually, no, they were outscored 24-27. My apologies on that one. But still, it was the third quarter where the Kings did it. 42-29 in that third quarter. Came out with a fire in their belly, got Dylan Brooks into foul trouble, and the rest is history. The Kings, again, move on to Memphis after this one. Don't forget, we've got a big day tomorrow. Want to let you know about that. Tomorrow, coming up on the channel, 3 o'clock, Grant and Sean Salisbury will be here talking NFL football, also college football. How about the rankings that came out tonight? Anybody surprised by some of those? They'll break it down, also break down the Niners if you're a Niners fan. A lot to dissect there. And then 4 o'clock, we have our Kings Roundtable. Jerry Reynolds will be joining us. We will be talking about this one more in depth and talking about what next for this team, with many games coming at home and 3 of them against the Lakers, 2 at home and 1 on the road here in the month of December. So will this be the turning point for the Kings? We will see as the rest of the month goes along. Let me tell you about one of my favorite places in town. That is Bennett's West Side Grill. In fact, all of the Bennett's restaurants you have got to check out. Prime cuts of seafood and steak. Go to bennettsrestaurants.com. You can learn more about all 3 of their locations here in the greater Sacramento area. Our dude Elvis in the chat said he's been to all 3. Love it. First Triple Crown winner. They are not just a great sit-down place. They've got great specials. Think about this. Happy hour, Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 o'clock. There's sips and tastes. Also, weekend brunch, one of our favorite things to do here in my household. And then prime rib on the weekends, can't beat it. Monday, wine and dine Monday nights, 2 entrees and a bottle of wine under $70. What I'm saying is go to bennettsrestaurants.com, make your reservation. You can also put your orders in to go now and start checking out the websites. They're holiday meals. If you picked one up for Thanksgiving, you know what I'm talking about. Those for Christmas will be doing pre-order pretty soon. So make sure you go check out our friends at bennettsrestaurants.com. Huge thanks to Bennett's for being a partial sponsor of tonight's episode of the Postgame Show on If You Don't Like That. Elvis says the best ones in Rockland. I like it. All right. One good thing about not being in the Cup playoffs, the Kings can rest and get more practice time. Yeah, the more practice time you can get, the better this time of season. Very important. Also, Devin Carter, for what it's worth, working his way back a little bit, continuing his journey to reevaluation, which comes at the end of January, early February. He's doing a little bit more on the individual side, getting a tiny bit of contact with the pads and the player development coaches. So continue monitoring that. And as you get closer and closer to that time, certainly you need more practice time to integrate more guys, but a lot of basketball in between now and then. Big win for the Kings tonight. Don't forget, join us tomorrow. Please join us tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Grant and Sean right here on the platform. Looking forward to them. And then the Kings Roundtable at 4 o'clock. Jerry Reynolds will be joining us. The Kings with the Grizzlies next. We're going to do a shorter postgame show since no calls to go with. And enjoy this one. Enjoy it. The Kings needed it. 120-111. Sacramento lights the beam. Gets the biggest win of their season. Much more to digest on this one. We'll be talking about it tomorrow on the King's Court. Check that out. But again, 4 p.m., Jerry Reynolds, Grant, and myself will be right back here on If You Don't Like That, doing our weekly Kings Roundtable. Before we close up, got to go to my man, BJ. BJ, what's up, dude? BJ, you there?
Hey, my man, can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Hold on, I got something going. I got a little mess up thing going on here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
There we go. Okay, I was hearing you like 2 or 3 times. First off, I thought it was a great win. I think seeing Isaac Jones running the floor and getting the chance to see him protecting the rim is refreshing. I really enjoy that, and he's a quick jumper. Kind of reminds me of Randy Brown. Randy Brown was
Yeah.
a quick jumper. There's people that are explosive, and then there's people that are quick. And he's got a ball. He's got a nose for the ball. So, a little bit of time. It's going to be awesome to see how all that articulates. It's nice to see. I really enjoy seeing Brown with a tight rotation. I enjoy that. I enjoy the quick timeouts. I enjoy him getting into it. And it's weird to say, but when Fox gets a little bit of a spark under his ass, he seems to play differently. And he it almost seems like he kind of gets to that level of how Monk comes to the games, and it's nice to see. So hopefully, I'm not going to get too crazy. Don't get too high. Don't get too low.
Yeah.
I love the ball movement. I think it's amazing. I've been really down on the 3-point shot the last 4 or 5 years in the NBA, and I did a deep dive about it basically I came up with that there's only 2 teams in the last 40 years, modern teams that are in the top 10. So like is something like the 1982-83 Golden State Warriors averaged 125 and a half points, and the 3-point line was 24 feet away. And then it was like the 62, 63 Celtics or something with no 3-pointers were averaging way more points. So it's like we don't really need to um, there's teams that are shooting 37, 38 more threes now to average one less point than the 82 Warriors. It's a joke. We don't need to fall in love with the 3-point line. I think shooting the three needs to happen, but in the confines of the game. So I did a deep dive. I'll probably call you during the week and go over that. But I just think tonight we didn't fall in love with the three. It was nice to see Keegan get his shot off. It was nice to see him get a little bit of confidence. But you notice they kind of like ran something for him. There was like two plays where they actually kicked it out to him and he was open.
Right.
So, and that's what I mean by structure. So I'm glad to see Jones play, and it's nice to see Herder get some confidence. And I think this was a big confidence building game. So if we could build off of this, and I don't care if we lose, it's just the way we play, the way we approach it. Go down with a fight. Getting blown out of the gym, it's not nice to watch. So, anyways, I'm glad we broke that curse and the beamer still works. So, nice seeing you, my man. I love you.
Yeah, good seeing you. Love you too, brother. Good call. Good job, BJ. Yeah, a lot to like about tonight, a lot to build on. Mike Brown, very critical of the Kings pick and roll defense and the attention to detail. It was there tonight. The attention to detail was there. They got out to shooters. Like BJ said, Houston, a team that is actually one of those old school teams. They don't shoot the 3-ball well, but they do play very good basketball as a team defensively, very hard-minded, very well coached. Here's the bottom line, Sacktown. Here's something that's really important about this game too. This was your first meeting with Houston this season, a team that beat you 4 times last season. So to get that little bit of monkey off your back, that's a huge thing. So we'll see what the Kings do next up. Memphis in Memphis, another tough matchup, but hey, can the Kings rise to the occasion? Can they continue to play better against better competition? Something that's been part of their, whether you like to acknowledge it or not, their identity for the last 3 years. But enjoy this one. The beam is lit. Again, the Kings winners 120-111. I appreciate each and every one of you, minus the trolls and Hunter. That is last name, by the way. I'm going to mention that. Never mind. By name. But all right. We're out of here. Enjoy the rest of your night. Go Kings. Light the damn beam. We will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Grant and Sean, 4 o'clock. Grant, Jerry, and myself, Kings Roundtable. Make it a great night. See you tomorrow. Kings win 120-111.